Good morning, class. So in this live lesson recording today, we're going to be going over the Unit 5 Lesson 8 sample work. So just as a heads up, you are not going to be doing the sample work that's actually in the assignment. What you're doing instead is this IXL assignment right here. So this is actually my second time recording, so there is a recording here already, but unfortunately it had no volume, so I'm re-recording it for that reason. So just a heads up if you thought there was already a recording, but again, this is the sample work that we're going to be doing. Oops, didn't mean to do that. This one right here, this one right there. All right, so that's going to go away in just a second. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the link and we'll walk through how to do this together. So the name of this assignment is Solve Equations Using Square Roots. And just as a reminder, in order to be considered done with the assignment, you have to reach a SMART score of 70 or higher. And honestly, this is a pretty easy IXL assignment to do, so you should have it done pretty quickly, to be honest with you. If you want, there's also a video here that you can watch that walks you through how to do it, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyway. So first things first, we have a u squared, and it says it's equal to 100. Sorry, there's a little bit of lag in my computer. I'm going to do something real quick and try to end that lag. Hopefully that helps. Okay, so in order to solve for u, because ultimately that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to figure out what u is, what we could do is we can undo the square root, or the square, by doing the opposite, which is square rooting. So I can square root both sides, and that undoes the square. So squares and square roots are the opposite. So just as like a quick rundown of that, so if I have 10, 10 squared is 100. Okay, now the opposite is also true. The square root of 100 is 10. So if you go back to that chart that we used a bunch in this unit, so back here, you'll see that's true. And also you could technically probably just literally use this chart, and that would help you. So like here's the chart where it says 10 squared is 100. It doesn't actually show that, but the square root of 100 is 10. Okay. So back to the IXL. So our answer here, it has two answers. So the reason for that is because technically also the opposite is true. 10 times 10 is 100, but also if I square negative 10, that is also 100, because negative 10 times negative 10 is positive 100, because a negative times a negative is a positive. So for every one of these, there's going to be two answers, and it's always the positive and the negative of that answer. Okay, so just with one answer, you get up to a SMART score of 14. Again, you only have to get to a SMART score of 70. For this one, again, we're just doing the exact same thing. We're just taking the square root in order to undo the square. So we take the square root of 49. The square root of 49 is 7. And again, you could look at that chart if you don't know that, or use a calculator. So the square root of 49 is 7. Already up to 26. Again, we're just taking the square root here. Square root of 9 is 3. And then again, negative 3 times negative 3 is also 9. And so it could be 3 or negative 3. All right, for this one, again, just taking the square root. So square root of 81 is 9. It's because 9 times 9 is 81. And then again, also the opposite is true. Negative 9 times negative 9 is also 81. And so that would also work. All right, so you can see at 4 questions, we're already at 47. So you don't have to really go too far into this one. And you could probably have this one done pretty darn quick. So again, we're just taking the square root of the number, square root of 25, because what we're doing is we're really taking the square root of both sides to undo that square. So we have s is equal to the square root of 25, which is 5. So s is equal to 5. And again, it's 5 or negative 5, because again, negative 5 times negative 5 is also 25. Okay, SMART score of 55, so we're getting pretty close. All you have to get to SMART score of 70. And these honestly don't get any harder. It's literally the same thing every time. So we just take the square root of 144. That's 12, because 12 times 12 is 144. or negative 12, because negative 12 times negative 12 is also 144. And these won't get any harder. I think I already said that probably, but they're just going to keep being the exact same thing. So sometimes with IXL, as you get higher in your SMART score, the questions get harder. They get more challenging. In this case, they're really not getting any more challenging. They're going to be the same all the way through. So 11 times 11 is 121, and also negative 11 times negative 11 is 121 here. So just as a heads up, in order to get to a SMART score of 70, if you do 8 questions right in a row, you will be done with it after 8 questions. Because you see we're at a SMART score of 66 now, so square root of 36, and there's really no reason to get any of these wrong because it's the same thing every time. You just take the square root of the number to solve for y, or whatever the variable is. All right, and there we go. So that's all you have to do for this lesson, and then when you're done with it, go ahead and upload a screenshot, or you could just tell me that you're done with it. Honestly, it saves your scores as long as you're logged in. So you have to make sure you're logged in, because if you're not logged in, it won't count. So make sure that you're logged in to IXL when you actually take it, because otherwise your score, I won't be able to see your score, and it won't be any good. So anyways, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, have a fantastic rest of your day.